How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Ethereum is on fire right now. We can see it's up 6.5% today, up over 2,600, really all-time highs. We have Bitcoin that's trading down a little bit, still trading down. It was all the way up at about 64,000. Now it's still sitting around 54.5 thousand. While Ethereum is flying, altcoins are doing well. What's happening? well, we have Bitcoin trading down consistently and Ethereum going up. I think some people are shifting over to Ethereum now that they are seeing that it's going up. A lot of people talk about how Ethereum is higher growth. Ethereum 2.0 is coming. People are excited for it. People are also thrown off a little bit, I think, because of the Coinbase IPO or DPO, I should say, last week. So we've seen some news about Coinbase being delisted by a couple of European stock exchanges. Today it came out that it was averted from the German stock exchange. Coinbase, though, is still sitting around $306. And we really should talk about that today, too, because it's amazing the inability to price this. But going back to Ethereum, we're seeing all-time highs. We're seeing people push this thing up to higher levels than it's been at before. And it does worry me a little bit. So if you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, I really appreciate that too. I've been talking about cryptocurrency a little bit more on the channel. Let me know if you guys like that by hitting the like button. Also, there is a link down there to BlockFi. In case you want an interest rate on your cryptocurrency, you can get up to $250 bonus in addition to that. And there's a link down there to Webull in case you want to start trading Dogecoin or get some free stocks in the process. You can check out that link down below. So Ethereum pushing all-time highs. Bitcoin still down. Really, I think this puts Bitcoin in a good place. The reason I say that is we've seen Ethereum continuously push and push. We saw a significant dip when it dipped with Bitcoin, and it's come up about 30% from that dip because it hit about that 2,000 mark. We saw it bounce off about 2,050. We've seen that happen now a couple times, right? Where just looking at the last 1 week, we saw it hit here, bounce off 2,058, then it bounced off 2,096, then 2,092, 2,088. We saw it hit constantly. Over the 1 month, we've seen it just up and to the right though. Over the last 3 months, same thing, up and to the right. 1 year, I don't even want to look at it. It's going to make me sad that I didn't invest more. We have it up and to the right. Now, Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin has been a little bit more back and forth recently. So we've seen it go up to 64, come down a little bit, and then it's just bounced around this $50,000 to $60,000 mark recently. Now, the interesting thing about Bitcoin is that a lot of companies should be putting money in Bitcoin soon. Now, it doesn't move as easily, obviously, because of the higher market cap, but we should have more companies put money in Bitcoin. A lot of companies are focusing on mining Bitcoin, and a lot of them are holding the Bitcoin that they're mining. And there's just a huge catalyst, a huge set of catalysts for Bitcoin moving forward. We're still not seeing Ethereum become as mainstream as Bitcoin, right? There aren't S&P 500 companies that are making this a huge part of their balance sheet like Bitcoin. We're not seeing that quite done as much. Ethereum is still, I think, a little bit less well known. I still have people that really haven't ever heard of Ethereum, like family and friends, that just ask me about it or don't even know about it, but they know about Bitcoin. I had my future parent-in-laws asking me about cryptocurrency in general, but we still have people wrapping their heads around it, right? I mean, if you talk to some people that really aren't in the space or are a little bit older, they still don't really understand what this is. Ethereum, Bitcoin, what's the difference? What should I buy? They hear Ethereum's $2,500 or $2,600 and this is $54,000, so they go buy Ethereum instead. It's interesting, but we have major catalysts coming for Bitcoin. At the same time, we have these I think pushbacks on Bitcoin, on Coinbase Stock, because Coinbase is, I think, representative a little bit of the crypto market now. They probably trade pretty similar because Coinbase makes most of their money from revenue from trading. So obviously, if there's volatility, Coinbase could go up because they get more transaction volume and more money. But also, if the price of crypto in general goes up, then Coinbase should be making more money because people are trading with larger amounts, most likely, if they've been in crypto for a while. We had different news platforms say that they were going to be delisted from the stock exchange in 2 different European countries, I believe. Now today, they actually came back and they wasted no time in submitting the appropriate documentation, and they resolved it in 24 hours. They figured out it was an administrative error, and they made the necessary documentation put out there for the European stock exchanges. So that's great. I mean, I think that's showing how strong Coinbase's management team is, that they're really on top of it. Even though they screwed up, they fixed it just like that. But we still have Coinbase falling down. I mean, it's almost in the 200s. While it, came public, or it DPO'd around 250, but it really came out at 381 by the time that we could buy it. It's been down and down and down. It's really interesting too, because that just presents such an interesting valuation for Coinbase. It's really difficult for a lot of hedge funds to figure out and to wrap their heads around the stock. I think a lot of them are either thinking Coinbase is a $1,000 stock or a $50 stock. Many companies can't figure out the pricing on this, and I think that's why we're seeing big money kind of trade off a little bit. It's still falling. I mean, I'm guessing too some employees are still selling because maybe they didn't want to sell right away, but they see it kind of bottoming out or just slowly trickling down. So they say, okay, I'm gonna get some of my money out. I'm up, 50x from when I started working for this company. So I think that's where we're starting to see a little bit of trickling down. However, I think this puts them in a really interesting situation. I mean, they had $800 million worth of net income last quarter. Project that out. If they can do 4 quarters of that, which, some people are saying the crypto winter is coming, so the price of all these coins might go down, but that might be a year or 2 out. So let's just project that they don't really grow, but they stay the same, which they were growing very quickly. You're talking about them being at a 20 price to sales ratio right now, actually below 20, like an 18 price to sales ratio with $3.2 billion of net income. Show me another stock that's growing this quickly, or another company that's growing this quickly in terms of revenue and net income that is at that price to sales ratio or price to earnings ratio. I don't see it. You don't see a company growing 900% that's at a 4 price to sales ratio, or even more difficult to hit is that 18 price to earnings ratio, because they have really high margins. A lot of their money is coming from trading at this point, which is people's main concern, that there's going to be a race to zero, but that's probably still a couple years out. I mean, I don't imagine Vanguard and Fidelity and Schwab starting to allow you to start earning Bitcoin on their platform, or watching videos like Coinbase allows you to do to earn Bitcoin. So I think we're still a while away from the race to zero. I still think we're a couple years out. And even when that happens, think about how much money they can make from other services. They still make about, 10% of their revenue from subscriptions on their platform, which is still a good amount. I mean, this part of their business is still growing, I think it's 70% a year. So they are still growing very quickly on that side of their business. And crypto is not mainstream. Like, my parents don't have crypto. My parent-in-laws, my future parent-in-laws, don't have crypto. A lot of people that hold the majority of wealth in America, like the older generations, haven't bought crypto yet. Or maybe they bought a little bit, but they're going to add more over time, most likely. So we're in an interesting situation where the younger generations that don't have as much wealth are buying into this. We have some larger companies starting to buy in. A lot of the retail investors that have a large majority of money still aren't buying in. But we're in an interesting situation because there's just a lot of uncertainty in the market, which presents buying opportunities. I actually messed up a little bit, hindsight's 2020, but I had, $300-400 that I had in GUSD in my account last night. I was thinking about adding it to either Bitcoin or Ethereum. I didn't, and now Ethereum's up 7% today. But it's just an interesting situation that Ethereum and Bitcoin are in right now. We're seeing with Bitcoin's, still around that $54,000, $55,000 mark. We've seen some resistances here a couple times, April 7th. Now we're seeing it today. We saw it dip down more than that last night, but we haven't seen it in the 40s in a while, because you can see March we saw 51. So interesting situation. A lot of companies, or some companies, probably adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet over the next couple months. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, bullish on Ethereum. Obviously, I hold a good portion of it in my account here at BlockFi. And I'm bullish on Coinbase too. I'm going to let it fall a little bit more, I think, before I add more, because I did add a decent amount the first day, and I bought it all the way down to 330, but I'll probably add more here if it keeps on falling, especially if it falls in the twos. But let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you think about the crypto market in general. Let me know what you think about Ethereum, Bitcoin, Coinbase. What are you most bullish on? Thank you guys for hitting the like button and checking out the link down below to BlockFi and Webull, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.